channel Home of Programming. Today we are here to continue our fourth session of Excel, right? So in this fourth session what we are going to learn is, we are going to learn about the tab insert, right? Again the insert tab is having some set of groups, right? So the groups that are available inside your insert tabs are tables, illustrations, add-ins, charts, tools, sparklines, filters, links and symbols, right? So out of these groups we will learn about tables groups in this particular video, right? So why we are learning only one group in this particular video is the group which we are going to learn is containing three command buttons. One is pivot table, another one is recommended pivot tables, another one is normal table, right? So normal table is simple and pivot table is somewhat, it is also simple, but it is somewhat different from your normal table, right? And it is important to learn it, right? So that I am giving a clear explanation about pivot table, right? So let's get started with the session, right? So before getting into the pivot table, let's learn how to create a normal table in Microsoft Excel. To create a normal table in Microsoft Excel, go to the tab insert and click the command button table inside the group tables, right? So before clicking on this table icon to create a table, let's have some record in our Excel and we can convert that record into a table, right? So just randomly provide some values for your table and these data can be converted into a table, right? So now we have created some random data. Now I am going to select these cells, right, which is A1 to D4, right? So now I am going to click this table icon, or the shortcut to create a table is Ctrl+T, right? So you can also press Ctrl and T keys to create a table, right? So when you either press Ctrl+T keys or clicking on this table icon will get you the create table dialog box, which will ask you the location for your table, right? So here as we have selected the cells A1 to D9, it is given in this text box, right? So just click on OK and this selected data will be converted into a table, right? Just click on OK. So this is how you can create a table in Microsoft Excel, right? So this is a normal table, right? So here we are having some set of rows and columns, right? So what is the major difference between your pivot table and normal table is, normal table is not flexible, right? So that is, you can't change the rows and column of your table, right? If you want to change your rows and column, you have to redraw the table, right? But in case of a pivot table, it is so flexible that you can even change your rows and columns if it is needed, right? So let's learn about pivot table, right? So I am undoing this action and I am going to have some sort of records, right? So just provide any column names for your table. So just give any random records so that we can create our pivot table, right? A record like this, right? So now just I am going to repeat these records, right? So that we can clearly understand the need for a pivot table, right? So now this is our table of records, right? So just press Ctrl D to unselect it, right? So now I am going to select these set of records and I am going to click on pivot table, right? So I have selected this record, and inside the insert menu I'm going to click pivot table, right? So when you click on pivot table, create pivot table dialog box will be opened, which will ask you two questions, right? One is the range for creating your pivot table and the location for creating your pivot table, right? So here we have selected the range for creating our pivot table, which is E1 to D46, right? So I'm going to have my pivot table in this existing worksheet itself. So just select any cell for having your pivot table, right? So after providing these two record details, just click on OK, right? So here you can see the empty pivot table, right? So but in the right panel we are having some fields, right? So fields are nothing but the column heading you have provided for the pivot table. That is, we have provided the column heading as name, department, year and percentage, right? So similarly you can find your pivot table fields, right? So here we are having four options. One is filters, columns, rows and values, right? So I can drop any of these fields into any of these four columns, right? So out of these four, this value column returns the summation of values, right? That is summation of column values, so that it can take only numeric values, right? So I am going to drag this name column under rows and department under column, right? So here we are having some set of records inside the row, right? So I have provided this name under the rows, right? So that my column value, the column values under the column heading, that is Aarti, Abhimanyu, Jayant, Krishant, Roshni, right? So all these names are displayed as rows in our pivot table. Whereas the department CSE, EC, EEE, IC, IT are displayed in a column, right? Because we have selected it. So if you want to interchange it, you can interchange it, right? So now department is here and names are in column, right? So this is up to your wish, right? So again I am exchanging the name, rows and columns, right? So one more thing to note here is this pivot table gives you a summarization of entire record. So here we are totally having some 45 records, right? That is 2 to 46, right? So totally 45 records we are having, but here only certain records have been provided. The reason is it removes the redundant data, right? That is the repeated data, right? So pivot table gives you the summarization of entire data, right? So now in the value field I am going to add year, right? And percentage. So this is the way with which you can create your pivot table, right? So if I am adding name under your values is, I can determine how much time this particular name is repeated in my table, right? For example, if I am clicking on this number 5, so the record Aarti is repeated in our table 5 times, right? So when you click on this particular value, it will be redirected to another sheet where you can check the data, right? So here in the sheet 1 we have provided the data, right? So after that, sum of year, right? Just double click here, it is 10,000, right? 10,500, right? So when you select this, you can have it, the value of 10,500, right? So in this way you can create your table, right? So the another option available in your tables group is recommended pivot table, right? So for this also you have to select the data for which you have to create a pivot table. Just select the data and click on recommended pivot table, right? So it will give you the options that are available for creating a pivot table for the selected range of record, right? So the first option is sum of percentage by department, right? So the sum of percentages inside our percentage column, we are having values 100 to 800 for redundant records, right? So only for CSE the total number of, that is the sum of value of percentage is 8000. It is 1500 for SE and it goes up to IT, right? So this is one way of pivot table for your record. Another is sum of your by department. Another one is rows and sum of percentage, right? So inside this row we are having our column CSE. That is what this pivot table gives you is, it is dividing the people according to their department. Under CSE we are having three peoples who are Aarti, Sahana and Spooty, right? So this is also another way of creating a pivot table, right? So you can create any table as per your wish, right? So this is also again sum of your by name, right? So this is a way of creating your pivot table. So do try creating the pivot tables in Microsoft Excel. And that's all about this video. Stay tuned with Home of Programming. In the next session of Microsoft Excel, we will create about charts, equations and some symbols and timeline, right? So we will learn about these in our next session of Microsoft Excel. Stay tuned with Home of Programming and subscribe to our channel for getting live updates. Thank you.